Hey everybody, it's Kimberly, and I'm hopping on to chat with you about June, which is Alzheimer and Brain Health Awareness Month. Hard to believe, but do you know, way back in 2012, I worked as a dementia specialist, and at that time, there was 80 different forms of dementia, Alzheimer's, but dementia, 80 different forms at that time. Now, there's over 120 forms of dementia. I just am so shocked by that because those numbers are not great. So here's the deal. Very, very important that we're all very aware of how to try to keep our brains healthy. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips. One, stay physically active. Very, very important that you're engaging in some sort of physical activity. There's a difference between being busy and being active. So like if I'm around the house, cleaning the house, I'm being active, but physically active being more like riding a bike, going for some walks outside, being a little bit more intentional at what you're doing with your physical health really, really helps. One, it helps cardiovascular, it helps blood flow to pump. We have a lot of microcirculation in our brain, so we want to keep that all moving really, really good. Also, consider eating some brain healthy foods. Think about things that are powerful in antioxidants. So if I were wearing a white shirt, what would stay in this shirt? Those are things called polyphenols that are beneficial for the gut, but they're also very, very beneficial for your brain. So think about cherries. Right now, this time of the year, cherries are out in season. Blueberries, pomegranates, beets, all very, very good. But think of those things that stain. And also, I'm not looking for you to drink the juice or to go buy it as a supplement. I really am encouraging you to eat this in your diet. Next, third is to keep yourself mentally stimulated. So think about things that get yourself brain active. If you don't love doing some of those brain puzzles that you see on your phones, that's okay. Because sometimes I've done a few of those and they've been a little frustrating. Because I can get to a certain level and then they kind of just like, I get confused. So one thing could be a puzzle. Consider doing some puzzles. The other one is like Sudoku. Anything that does learning a new skill, playing an instrument, finding ways, even reading is very, very helpful. I find there are times I even read out loud because I'm using my voice, my ears, my eyes. I'm using multiple sensory for that. So just think about ways to keep yourself mentally stimulated. Next, number 4 is to maintain social connections. It's very, very important that we stay engaged and connected with friends and family as we age. And sometimes as we're getting closer to retirement, we can feel like we're losing a little bit of purpose. So think about things you're going to get engaged in or adventures you can go on and find those core friends that you stay really, really connected with. And I know for our family, we try to at least make sure that we have a family dinner every single month so that we stay connected with each other. Number 5 is to get quality sleep. Not everybody gets a great night's sleep, but getting a good night's sleep is very, very important for brain health. Aim to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night because it helps the brain to process the stored information effectively. Do you ever find that when you go to bed and you can have a hard time getting to sleep or a hard time staying asleep because your mind is very, very busy? There is supplements that, yes, we can take for that, but there's also some other practices that you can do. And one could be just drinking a chamomile tea before bedtime, shutting off some of the blue lights, some of the screens that you have on computers or phones, and trying to let the brain settle at nighttime, or having a good sleep habit is really, really helpful. Number 6, I feel is kind of like a loaded thing. It's managing your stress. And when I ask people, every time I see a new person, I ask them, where's your stress level? And almost 100% of the time they go, oh, it's fine. I hardly have any stress. Really, I think I'm managing it just fine. But as I do more deeper research, most people have an extreme amount, a tremendous amount of stress in their life. So what I always tell, especially moms or even nanas, is how many plates do you have spinning in the air? How many tasks do you do throughout your day? And write those down and be aware of how many things you've committed yourself to. And then learning to say no when needed, which can be really, really hard. Number 7 is a real easy one. Stay hydrated. I always tell people, find a water bottle that you love and that you carry around with you. And then have it be a big one. 60 to 80 ounces of water is pretty sufficient for most people. If you're a person who's constipated, you might need a little bit more. But find a water bottle and then fill it. Have the first one done by noon, second one done by late afternoon, so that way you don't feel like you're peeing all night long and have to get up to go to the bathroom, because that would disrupt your sleep as well. Number 8 is to monitor health conditions and to be early on monitoring your health conditions. So I'm encouraging you to be very, very aware of your wellness. So by the time we start experiencing symptoms, we're a little bit late to the game. So symptoms are already your body telling us, hey, there's something going on here. I'm not feeling so great. And a lot of times we want to use symptom suppressors to make those symptoms go away versus being a detective to find out why our bodies are showing up with those symptoms. So I encourage you to get involved in wellness early. And some of these things we're talking about today are just some great starting points for that. Number 8 is to monitor any alcohol intake and limit it, as well as avoid smoking. I've had people that have moved from smoking to vaping, which actually at sometimes are more toxic than actually smoking. It's almost like I prefer they go back to smoking than, even though I prefer they do neither. But if they're going to do one or the other, the toxic chemicals they're putting in their bodies from the vaping is worse than the smoking, I feel. But both are not great, but you're actually putting so much toxins into your lungs and into your whole body. So I encourage you to stopping smoking if you're one person who does that, or vaping, and then limiting your alcohol intake. And then number 10, consider the correct supplements. So I have people that come in and they bring in bags and boxes of supplements when they see me. And the one thing I will encourage you to do is, especially with the older age group, they're going to encourage everybody, go on omegas. If you have a liver problem, you will many times have a difficult time processing those omegas. So you could have a very, very expensive amount of supplements going into your toilet, which means your body's not able to assimilate them or to use them well. So how will you know that? I want you to look in the toilet when you go to the bathroom. If you see that your stools look light colored or they're not a dark chocolate, medium to dark chocolate brown, you're not getting enough bile and you're not processing fats very well. And so you're probably not making good hormones. So if you were to take omegas, chances are you're utilizing them not so great. So I'm going to encourage you, eat fish, salmon, a nice, like a piece about this big is close to 4,000 milligrams of omegas. So find ways to get omegas into your diet. You can easily go into Pinterest and search omegas. You can contact our office and we'll send you out a sheet on omegas if you'd like on how to get that. We also share with our clients a list of polyphenols, which are those things, again, if you're wearing a white shirt and it would stain it. A list of fiber sources. I encourage you to eat a lot of fiber in your diet. Put it in daily, into your daily tasks that you do with your food. 3% of our population have colon cancer, and a lot of those would be gone or not even have it if they'd had a higher fiber diet. That fiber scrapes and cleans that colon. And many times people will say, well, I eat my flax. Well, fiber is not just flax. Or if you have a problem with constipation, I wouldn't recommend chia seeds because chia seeds are absorbers and they'll add to that constipation. So I'll encourage you to find a variety of fiber sources, both fruits and vegetables. Think of when you do choose fruits to vegetables, it's 2 vegetables to 1 fruit. Many times people will come in and they go, I changed my diet. And I added mangoes and pineapples and peaches and pears and grapes. And they're listing all these fruits, which are great, but they're high in sugar. And there's not enough of the other nutrients that we need from having good vegetables in our diet. I was not raised on eating vegetables. For me, I had to learn how to eat vegetables. And I remember thinking, I don't like vegetables. And I was in my early 30s, but I ended up developing a taste. So what I did is I'd walk into the grocery store and I'd scan and I'd look at the colors of the phytonutrients and think of that as your medicine cabinet. These are phytonutrients that you're seeing in the colors that you see in that produce section. And I just want you to scan. If you can't get it fresh, then I recommend frozen, and then try to avoid canned if you can, just because those canned vegetables are heated to a certain point and then their enzymes are destroyed. So there is another video that I have on enzymes. I'd encourage you to watch it. It's me actually in the produce section at a grocery store explaining about how enzymes work and how they get destroyed in our food processing. But they're very, very vital for our diet. So I hope you find this helpful. With it being Alzheimer's and brain health awareness, there's 2 very, very important things that we need to age well, is we need good brain health and we need our mobility. Those 2 are key. So make those your focal point for your health moving forward. I encourage you every single week, find a focus that you're going to do to improve your health or to stay on your health goals so that you will age well both now and in the future. Thanks for watching.